application file system. So even I wanted to give more time to go through and understand about the allocation of various file, apple top, common top. More you can see so that you will be able to understand the files. So now let's have some questions from you. Is it okay now the file system? See, I'm not saying that you have to memory, you have to put it everything in the memory. It is going to take some time, but you got a picture at least, like where you have application files, where your configuration files. But still, again, you have to see something that is about again related to file system, but e-business suite configuration. So how configuration is managed in e-business suite? E-business suite configuration. Something related to file system, but configuration management. E-business suite configuration management. So this part I just want to discuss. And how about the concept about unified Apple top and about shared app stuff? Is it clear? Unified Apple top meaning exactly what? Unified Apple top means unified Apple top. Actually, multi-node. In a multi-node, what is the meaning of unified Apple top? That is shared. One single apple top, common top and tech stack is shared. Unified Apple top. So here you will understand when you just look at briefly about 11i, the difference in 11i. You know, if you look at in 11i, now you understand, you must understand and you must remember what is unified Apple top. So the example of unified Apple top in multi-node. And suppose even if you have two nodes also, in 11i, let's say there are two nodes are there. So here you have say the RWS home, and here you have what? The Apple top, common top, and tech stack. So here also you have again Apple top, common top, and tech stack. This is 11i. 11i. In 11i there was no concept of unified Apple top. So again, if you see here in R12 also, same. In R12 also you may have, as far as Apple top is concerned, same now. Here you have RWS home, and then you can say what is this? App stack and tech stack, right? So of course, even if you want to write down separately, you can no problem. Apple top. Here also you have common top and tech stack. Here one additional file system, INST. Again you have Apple, I'm writing short, Apple top actually, Apple top, common top and tech stack. See, what is the main difference? This is Apple. Now see the main difference here. Here also you have Apple top and here you have Apple top. So this is unified Apple top. Now here in R12 you have unified Apple top. What's the meaning of unified Apple top? See here. In this Apple top and in this Apple top, again if you see here, what are the services we are going to use here? CMS and report service. In Java we have a report server here. CMS and report server. Here we have the web server Apache, and then we have this instead of OC4J it was JServe and forms server instead of server. Say Apache was there, Apache service. It was it was JServe, not OC4J. Then if you look at Apple top, let's say GL top, you have GL top, right? And here also you have GL top. But in this GL top, you don't find all the files. You will find only the files which are related to the services, according to the services, reports. So only you will find reports, you may find some SQL script, blah blah. But you will not find forms here. Here form server is running in this node. So here you will find forms, but here you will not find what? Reports. This is the main difference. Here you will find, look at here. Here you have a GL top, and in this GL top you have forms as well as reports. Actually here what service we are going to run? CMS. And here we are going to run what? You know that Apache and all that. Like say your Apache is running there, Apache and OC4J OA code. even form, standalone form service, socket mode, form service. So you need forms here and you need reports here. But in this GL top you find all like complete structure. Here in this, under this Apple top you have GL top, and this GL top will also have complete. Even forms will be there, even reports will be there, all. That means complete Apple top, irrespective of the service. This is unified Apple top. Okay, unified Apple top. Unified Apple top. Okay. So I'm making it very clear, this part, unified Apple top. Some of the working guys, working apps DBA guys, they are raising this doubt to me. Working apps DBA, so we are not clearly this what is unified Apple top. So no, you can't take a chance. You understand? Some of the working experience guys who have been experienced with 11i, we are not clear with the shared apps and unified Apple top. Working guys, I'm saying, not you people. Working guys, apps DBA. So here you have a chance to make it very clear. And it is not something, but you see 11i and afterwards then you will understand. Here, the problem is how many times you have to take backup? What are the things, how many times, sorry, your backup one time, but are you going to take the backup of only one Apple top or both Apple top? Here 11i, you have to take backup of both Apple top because the structure is different. If you take backup of this Apple top, you are not taking the backup of what? Forms. So you have to take the backup of this and this. Here you have to take the backup of any one because it has complete unified. So there is a more space. Where more space is used here? Where more space is occupied? In Apple, unified. More space is used here. But it is okay. What is the main advantage of unified Apple top? That any service can be configured on it. Can we run forms here, form server here? Yes. Can we run form server here? Because all files are here, forms are here. But can you run form server here? Here? No. In 11i no, because forms are not. So why did Oracle people came out with the concept called unified Apple top? In each application download complete application file system, irrespective of the service. For configuring service, any service you can configure anywhere. Load balancing is very easy. You want to run two form server here, yes, you can do it because all the files are there. So when you install Oracle E-Business Suite in multi-node, each node will have complete application file system. All files will be same, irrespective of the service. 11i according to the service. Here what is required? Reports. Here what is required? Forms. Only forms. At the top level you have both Apple top, common top, even GL top is there, right? But within each prod top, GL top is called prod top, right? Within each prod top, what files you will find, that is according to the service. Okay, what service you are running, this server you are running, according to that. So unified Apple top is complete application file system, particularly Apple top, complete Apple top. Okay. And because of this unified Apple top, there are other advantages also. Cloning is again difficult in this, or it's going to take more time in cloning. When you are cloning from multi-node to single node, and we'll see again later. Here cloning is also easy. Only redundancy you can say. Yes, redundancy means same forms here, same forms here, space. But that's okay. That's okay. Flexibility is there. So, on what basis you identify that in this machine CMS is running, on this machine forms is running? You cannot do based on looking at the files. You have to identify based on what? Service group. Service group. Service group. So unified Apple top, unified Apple top. Shared app stack is what? Well, shared app stack means there is only one copy of Apple top, common top and text stack which is going to be in the shared storage, in the NAS box or sandbox. You have any doubt about shared app stack? Please ask me. Unified Apple top, shared app stack. So when you install, complete all files will be installed in every node, every application node, all files. So again, is there any difference between this Apple top and this Apple top? Is there any difference in the services running in this node and in this node? Yes, services difference. No, services totally different. But no difference of files. Same files, same files. But it was not the case in 11. So when you are installing 11, right from installation you will see like this. The files will be installed according to the service. And in the next release, in fact, Oracle is planning to keep 2 Apple top, 2 common top, 2 table top. Here, in this machine, 2 Apple top, 2 common. In this machine, 2 Apple top, 2 common. That is 12 to next release. The idea is, you know what? When you are applying patches, no downtime. Again, just imagine the redundancy, double. 2 Apple top, 2 common top. Okay. So that means services will be running under one Apple top, and the second will be standby kind of. So that means don't worry about this redundancy files. Yes, of course, performance is good. Performance wise, it depends on what shared storage you are doing.
Doing some scanning, we are sharing Apple and common top from the sandbox. So we have multiple 4 or 5 nodes. So the performance issue will be good.
Performance issue will be there. It's good. Performance issues will not be there. Actually, yeah, what the common sense says that performance, you go against your common sense. The performance will be very good in fact, when you are sharing. When you are sharing, performance is very, very good. And it has its own advantages. Shared apps have, it has its own advantages. You are keeping your file system local, and you are keeping your file system in the storage box. And again, in the storage, we have so much features are there, performance features are there. Cache memory and all that, that is going to give you good performance. So must be clear about unified, shared, multi. Now here, let me just give you a brief overview about this EBS configuration management, e-business suite configuration management. The entire configuration of e-business suite is managed by autoconfig, okay? Managed by autoconfig tool. Autoconfig tool. The name is AD, you can run this, AD config.sh, autoconfig tool. It is one of the AD utility, autoconfig tool. This is just brief concept about configuration, how configuration is managed in e-business suite. How we are going to make any configuration changes in e-business suite. So if we already discussed that. You saw that, like, what is the name of the configuration file for Apache service? Apache service uses which configuration file?
httpd.com.
httpd.com. And if you look at OC4J, OC4J OA core uses which file? There are a couple of files are there. You know what is that? We have discussed about opmn.xml, and there are a couple of files are there. Orion web application dot. Okay. Just one idea actually how configuration is managed. If you look at form service, I'm writing short form service, apps7 dot CFG. So you have various configuration files, Apache, forms, OC4J, plus you also have the environment files, isn't it? Environment files, right? Environment files. Environment file means what? Context name dot env. CN means context name. Context name you know already we discussed. Context name, context number. So you have environment variables. So this configuration file contains configuration parameters, and this environment file contains environment variable. So how we are going to make changes in this configuration? How are we going to make changes in this environment variable? Okay. changing the environment variables or changing the configuration. How we will do that? So no direct change. We cannot make any changes directly in this Apache configuration file. Like for example, Apache port number you want to change, you cannot directly change here. Or you want to change any Java related parameter, Java JVM and all that, you cannot change here. You cannot change any environment variable in this file. So then how you are going to make changes? You have to make changes through autoconfig. You have to make changes through autoconfig. Okay? So let's see how autoconfig is going to manage the entire configuration. So autoconfig basically manages this configuration through a central repository. The entire configuration is maintained in one single file. This is again context name .xml. This is called application tire context file, a central repository, configuration repository, application context file, application context file, or this is repository, autoconfig repository. Repository means centralized configuration. Centralized configuration. So all the configuration about the HTTP, all the HTTP parameter you will find in that file. All the OPMN, apps7 and all these environment variables you will find here. You saw that. What is the location of this file? What is that? In your file system, where is it? Okay, tell me Apple top, common top, and tech stack, INST, where is it? INST, good, at least you INST. Under INST? Under INST you have Apple admin. Under INST, Apple. This is your very important file, you have to remember this. It is in what? INST top. Apple admin. INST Apple admin. This is the application context file, a configuration repository. So the idea is this, you know what, we have to make change in this XML file and then the changes will be applied from here to here. Who is going to do that? Autoconfig is going to do that. Okay. So look at that autoconfig 2 here. Autoconfig 2, autoconfig.sh. So we make change in this XML file. If you want to change Apache port number or anything, you make change in this XML file and then you run autoconfig. Autoconfig will pick up change from here and then apply. Now see, again, your job is very easy simply here. Do you need to remember so many? If you know the location, it is good. But you are not going to make direct changes in this configuration file. You have to make changes in XML file, and from XML file, who is going to apply changes to the corresponding configuration file? The autoconfig tool. But let's see how it is going to do that actually. Okay. So you know what? In this, what you have actually parameters, right? You have parameters, right? Here you have parameters. Here you have what? Parameters. And in this environment file, what we call? What do you have here? Environment variables here. For every parameter, for every environment variable, here you have context variable. What do you have? Context variable. So you have to make change in the context variable, and the value of context variable will be applied to the corresponding configuration file parameter. You understand? So from there to there. So how the configuration is maintained, how the configuration is managed. Huh? This is just to give you an idea here. So first you see this. So here we have, just you see here first, the context file is here, the configuration file here, but how autoconfig is maintaining the information about all these configuration files. Not only this, here you have the autoconfig maintains template and driver files. Template and driver, template files, the driver files. For every configuration file, for every single configuration file, there is a template file. For HTTPD, there is one template file. For OPMN, there is one template file. For apps7, there is a template file. So for every configuration file, there is a template file. Okay, for every configuration file there is a template file, and the information about this template file is in the driver file. The information about the template file is in the driver file. Okay, so we are going to see again more in detail, like internally how it works. Again, we have to make change in this XML file, and then autoconfig is going to make changes in this configuration file. How? Now direct. So autoconfig will pick up the changes from this XML file and will apply changes to template files, from the template file to the configuration file. So everything is well recorded here. What change is made, to which particular configuration file the change has been made, all the things will be recorded. Okay. So that means, here I just want to give you the path and all this so that you can go and see. That means we should not make any direct changes. Okay. And this location of this template driver, for every product there is a driver. Okay. For example, your AOL and AD, under FND top there is a directory called admin. Under admin you have two folders are there, template and driver. Again under AD top, you have admin folder. Under admin, template and driver. Under GL top you have admin. Under admin you have template and driver. So in every product you have template and driver. And the location of this XML file you know here. And we already discussed about all the configuration. These files are under where? INSU top. You saw in the last session the location of this configuration file. So the brief, just you note on this brief point that for every configuration file there is one template file. For every configuration file there is one template file. For every configuration file there is one template file. For every configuration file there is one template file. Next point. The information and commands to run template file is in driver file. The information and the commands to run template files and update database profiles and update database profile is in driver file. I repeat again. So the information about template files and the commands to run the template file is in driver file. Okay. The information about templates and the commands to run the template is where? In the driver file. And one driver file per product. 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 Your AOL, your GL, AD, these products are per product, one driver file. For every single configuration file there is one template, but for every product there is one driver file. So you just go through this file system. Okay? So that means it is well managed, this configuration. Okay? So we have to make changes. So how we are going to make changes in that, later we are going to see that. Huh? So just you see that you will make changes in this XML file. Okay, this is not our discussion today how we are going to make changes. So we are going to make changes in this. For example, you want to change Apache port number. So Apache port number is maintained here. What is that? HTTP port number. What is the port number? HTTP default production? 8000. Here you have a context variable S web port. What's that? 8,000. So suppose you change it to 8,005 in the XML file. So autoconfig will pick up this XML file. It will make changes to what? Template file, and then then it is going to run. You don't worry about that. Then the only files information I want to give. Then with the help of driver, it is going to make the changes into what? In the configuration file. Also, it is going to change it is also going to change where? In the database, because this information is also maintained in database. Some of the Apache port number is also maintained in database, so we don't worry about that. You just have to run autoconfig, that's it. So you have to run autoconfig. Autoconfig will take care. Autoconfig will pick up change from here, and you need to know the process actually. But you don't worry like how to change in the database and where it is maintained in database. That will be taken care by autoconfig. So right now in this session, today's session, you have to understand only these files, the XML file, okay. We have something about template and driver file, and about this configuration file. Later we have a session managing e-business with configuration. There we will discuss how we are going to change port number, how we are going to change database business port number, Apache port number, how we can define JVM, Java related parameters. We'll see later. And again, one more time I'll tell you how exactly driver files is going to run, how the changes are picked up from these configuration file. So that you got it. Now you don't make any changes. And how do you know that these files are? These files are generated by autoconfig. When you open this file, in the header you will find that this file is autoconfig generated. Okay. So based on that, we can divide these files, the configuration files, into manage and non-manage. Manage means these are what? All managed configuration files. What is that? Manage configuration files. Managed configuration files which are generated by autoconfig. The files which are not generated by autoconfig, non-managed files. There are some certain files are there, we will see later. These all are autoconfig managed. You know what? Even if these files are missing, when you run autoconfig, these files will be recreated. Okay. Autoconfig will every time regenerate all the configuration files if they are missing. So by this you should understand that all the configuration is maintained by autoconfig. So one central repository. What is that? Context name.xml. Here don't get confused. This is also named context name, but env, extension is env. By extension you must understand it's an environment file. And by this extension XML, it's a autoconfig repository or context file also. Application context file, you can call it application context file or autoconfig repository. You don't call this context file. The name is context, but don't call context file. This is environment file. Name is context file, but this is context file. Application.
So this is not application context file.
Context file, right? It is an application as well application.
What is the configuration for CFS?
Environment. Like every service, they don't have dedicated. Like say for Apache, you have HTTP and there are other files. For OCPJ, there are a couple of configuration. For form service, you have this. But for concurrent managers, you don't have. Concurrent manager uses certain environment variables, and those variables are mentioned in this environment file. There is no dedicated configuration file for concurrent managers. So later we are going to see this. Okay, you have any question here, you can ask me. Do you understand? So how do you know the entire business suite configuration? By just single file. The single file will give you the entire e-business suite configuration, application configuration, single file. And because we are talking about this application configuration files, application, so this is application context file. In the same, we also have a context file for DB tab. we also have a context file for dbtar. For dbtar, it is in rdbms home apps util folder. Under rdbms home apps util. So there you have for dbtar, you have dbtar context file. dbtar context file. Same name. What is that? Context name dot xml. But where it is? It is in rdbms home apps util. rdbms home apps util. So now, how many total context files we have here? 2. One for dbtar, one for application file. 2 context files. One for dbtar, one for abstract. But if you have got multiple application tar, then you will be having multiple context files for application tar. Isn't it? If you have got multiple apps tar, this is the configuration, this. The context file or application context file repository we are calling, right? For application tab, right? But if you have got multiple application tab, then there will be multiple context file. dbtar is multi-node, I would say, multi-node. In multi-node, you have multiple apps tab. Multiple apps tab means multiple context file. But dbtar, you know, always it is one. So there will be only one for dbtar. So here, particularly for you people, having this knowledge is very important. Context variables. So you must know about context variables, and we are going to discuss more about that. What is the name of the context variable for Apache port number? So like this. All the context variables start with S. S web port. What is the name of the, for example, for Java application, when you want to increase JVM, what is the context variable? Okay. For various, you understand? In last session we discussed about, in this environment file, I gave you one of the environment. If you recall, we have discussed one environment variable which defines the location of your concurrent manager log file and log and request file. What is that name of the variable? We discussed in the last session. What is the name? What is the name? The name of the environment variable which defines this location for concurrent modes. Yesterday we discussed APPL CSF. APPL CSF. Eco APPL CSF. No. One example of it. Like for example, what is the variable? APPL CSF. So even what is this? This is the environment variable. Even if you want to change the environment variable location of this, where you have to change? In the XML file. So you have S APPL CSS. Okay. So in this file you have S APPL CSS. Right? Where is this environment? In which file it is? In which file it is? File name, context name, environment. So in the context name.env, there is a variable called APPL CSS, and the corresponding context variable is here. Can you tell me, what is the default location? Same yesterday we saw that. Even we went to that location. What is that? What is the default location? There is one environment variable you should mention, log home. Log home. Under log home, there were two folders, Apple and Aura. What is that? This is under log home, there are two folders, Apple and Aura. INST top, but INST top, there is a variable is also there, log home. You have to go to CD INST top, under there you have to go to, there is a folder called Aura. Instead of that, directly you can go to, what is that, let's say, log home. So this is application concurrent manager file. So it is in what? Apple. We discussed in last session. Anyway, you see one more time. Okay, it is in what? Apple directory, under Apple. Under Aura you have what? Under Aura? No, sorry, under that log. Under log you have what? Apple and Aura. Under Apple you have this. Again, this is important. You simply just go to this, repeat this. Or else you forget, you just do this $AP plus CSM repeat. Okay, now what is the location? Something INST number, for example. Now if you want to change, where you have to change? In the context menu, this way. And then you run autoconfig. Then where autoconfig will change? In this environment file. Finally, where it will change? In this environment file. If you want to change, you want to store the log files in another directory, in another location, not in the default location. So you can change. Understand how changes can be done? Whether you want to change any parameter, Apache code number, or whether you want to change the environment variable. It's an environment variable. All these things you have to change in one place. Context file. And then run automatically. That's it. The change will be here. So at least whatever we have discussed, you just remember these points. The location of the XML file for DB tag for application file. Okay. The location for template file and driver files. Okay. And also you must remember these terms for every parameter file and every environment variable what we have in the context file. It's called context variables. The term, remember, context variable. What is this?
Context variable.
This is what? It is called variable. It is called environment variable. This is called context variable. Context variable. Context, and there are hundreds of context variables are there. That means you don't need to remember. Just few context variables you have to remember. So this is how the configuration is managed. So you must know that direct you are not going to make any changes. You have to make changes through auto config. So this is also one of the parts is discussed, application file system, e-business suite data model. Okay, and then we also discuss brief about these two modules, AOL and AD, and we are going to discuss more about AD later, application DBA module, and now it is all about sysadmin module. Now we are going to the next module. What is that? Sysadmin module. Okay. Sysadmin module is more graphical module. Here you will be learning about day-to-day tasks like creating users, managing concurrent jobs, concurrent managers, printers and all that. Okay. And then after sysadmin module, we will be going to DBA module. Under DBA module, we will be looking at all the AD utilities. And then we will be discussing about more in detail about patching, cloning. You understand? So when are we going to talk about this AD utilities, patching, cloning, performance tuning, upgradation? After sysadmin module. Sysadmin module. And this sysadmin module is like graphic, user friendly, a very graphical module. Just you have to remember the navigation. Click, click, click. What is this? Sysadmin. Okay. So you have, isn't it? That's what you have to do. First click the menu, then then function. Yeah. But in this click, 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 don't take it easy. The click will take you easy. So you have to do practice also. It looks very simple, the navigation and all that, but you may forget the navigation. When you are going to create user, when you are going to define your custom responsibility, Now you can define your own responsibility. You can define your own menus. This is the job of what? System administrator. You can register a custom module. All the modules are there, right? Serial module. You can register a custom module. Who is going to develop custom module? You know very well, developers. But who has to register a custom module? We have to do that as a sysadmin, registering a custom module. When you deploy a form, custom form, you need to compile that form also. You may have to register that form also. Because when you develop a developer, when a developer develops a forms or a report, that information is not there in AOL. And how you tell that this form is now a part of e-business suite? By registering. The process is registration. Okay. Where it is going to be stored? In AOL tables. Which tables? FND tables. FND tables. So this is basically all sysadmin. And then there are a couple of main topics are there in sysadmin module: profiles, flex field, printer management. Profiles, flex field, printer management. Okay. So the initial part you are going to see from user management, clearly thorough user management. Then managing concurrent managers, how to start, how to stop, how to check the status of concurrent managers. These are total routine, isn't it? Day-to-day or routine jobs, day-to-day routine tasks. So you are going to see this more practically. Okay, I'll be discussing with you some other later the concept about something related to profiles and flex fields. I'll be explaining. This you'll be going through your practical sessions, user creation, responsibility. Okay. Just you have to note on the navigation and just practice one or two times. So now you have any question for me in the previous sessions. Now you got it. So first you have to finish the sysadmin part. Okay, and then we are going for this. While you are while going through the sysadmin classes sessions, you have a very good time. Okay, so you make use of your time and still go through what? Your initial classes, architecture, file system. Believe me, that's very good time. And once you finish with sysadmin module, then you will not have time. Then you will have to spend entire time with what? Patching, cloning. You will be totally busy with patching and cloning. Patching, cloning, upgradation, troubleshooting. Now you will be having time, so you revise completely. Go through file system, go through data model, go through the physical architecture, understand about the services, all the middle class services, individual services. So I think today you have time, like now you at least you can go through this user management part clearly. User management. Okay, you can go practically user management. In user management part, the only thing is that you know how you basically monitor user is very important. Creating user account is simple, easy. How you monitor user accounts, what users are doing. Sometimes you may have to kill user session. Here it is not database, it is this user, application user. And the problem is that when you look at $V session, you will not find application username. Application username will not appear. Which name will appear? Database user. Which database user?
Apps.
Apps. All apps. So you have to map the front-end application user with the back-end this session, the app session. So this is all about sysadmin module. Okay. Later, certain topics are there in sysadmin module which I will like to take. So you go through this practical session and practice. And single node installation, I think you have gone through. Maybe I think this week Saturday we'll arrange multi-node installation, 2-node installation. And if you want to do 11i installation also, you can practice 11i installation. I think you saw R12 installation, right? It was R12 installation. Before 11i installation, we'll take the difference between R12 and 11i. Is it clear? File system is clear? Data model, file system, physical architecture, services. Remember. Here, not in notes. So I think again you see practical session. Sysadmin.
Oh, मैंने बराबर है
अच्छे थे 7 लाने का आगे
बाहर बढ़ने